Okay then. I believe that we are live. Quick sound check. Can everybody hear me? Can everybody hear me okay? What did you guys think about that press conference? Dillian Whyte, Tyson Fury. Did that so-called press conference live up to the hype for you? Yes, I'm live. Just checking on my mobile phone. Should be at work today. Should be at work, and yet I'm delivering you, one of the hottest live shows of the year. If you'd like to super chat me and give me all your paycheck, give me all your paycheck money like you do to these other channels, please give me the super chat money. Give me that super chat money. It's my money, really. You don't deserve it. It's really for me, innit? Give me that super chat money.
Donations.
There you go. There you go. Like the good Dr. Umar would say. Daryl, if you want to come on, Daryl, you can come on. Let me say my piece, and then Daryl, if you want to come on, come on. If anybody else wants to come on, I'll open the lines up. Let's see. Hopefully we don't get too many dickheads. It's 3:30 in the afternoon. Hopefully we don't get too many idiots, but I might open the lines up. Daryl, if you want to come on, let me know, and I will send you the link after I've done. Right, let me go through. I've taken some notes. Very, very respectful. People seem to be quite shocked that it's very, very respectful. I don't really care about press conferences, as you know, but let's play a little game. Who do you think, quote unquote, won the press conference? I had a very, very quick 10-second peek online, and it seems like Dillian Whyte has destroyed Tyson Fury in his press conference, and that Fury is scared. I don't know if you guys are seeing the same thing online. Fury is terrified in the run up to this fight, and apparently he's already lost it on the press conference. So there you go. We'll talk about the absolute moron that is John Fury in just a sec. In fact, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just talk about this right now. John Fury is an absolute disgrace. No two ways about it. All right. John Fury nearly just caused, a fucking brawl up on that. And that was going to be a big brawl. I mean, Dillian, you know what Dillian's like. You can say what you want about Dillian Whyte and Dillian Whyte boxing skills. But Dillian Whyte is one of the toughest men in boxing outside of the ring. Like, he's the last guy outside of the ring that you want to cause a ruckus with. Like, that guy is literally down for anything. Like, this guy's no joke. And Dean Whyte ain't no joke either. And John Fury, everything was respectful. You can see it on the screen. And then John Fury wanders into the shot, trying to get in Dillian Whyte's face or Dean Whyte's face. This guy don't even want to fight Mickey Theo. Now he's trying to get in the face of Dean Whyte. It's just ridiculous. Like, this guy is absolutely ridiculous. There's no two ways about it. John Fury, look, what is he doing? What is he doing? What is the need to do? I don't understand what his fucking problem is and why he's done that. Because you know what? If them two hadn't have calmed that down and that had turned into a brawl, somebody could have got cut. This fight could have been off. That's what could have happened. Somebody could have got cut. People could have started chucking things. Chairs could have started flying around. Bottles could have started flying around. Next minute, somebody's cut. Next minute, we're questioning if the fight's even on. It's all it takes. It's absolutely ridiculous. Play this one more time. What the fuck is this guy doing? Everything was cool. And then just look at John Fury on the left-hand side. Look, what is he doing? Why is he trying to get in the face of Dillian and Dean? He's got no right to be in there. He's an absolute joke, he is. There's no need. And let me tell you, he's very, very... That whole thing, that whole setup is a fucking disgrace. I think John Fury's a liability, you know. That's my opinion. Let's go through some comments quickly. I think John Fury's an absolute liability. Let me just go through some comments on John Fury, because I know all you guys have been talking about John Fury. Yeah, Shadow Project says, then idiot John Fury trying to start a fight. Andrew says, John the Bellend. Mark Stanton says, John Fury lost the mind games. Let's go through some of this stuff on John Fury. Ethan Dobinson says, John Fury is embarrassing, making it all about himself as usual. Hey, guy is an absolute joke, you know. Well, he went up in the same gym as Mickey Theo, but then he's walking up and trying to square up to Dean Whyte. Dean Whyte, if you look, and you know Dean Whyte, look, I've given Dean Whyte a bit of criticism, but Dean Whyte wasn't trying to do nothing here. Look, if you look at Dean Whyte on the right-hand side, look, he's just being respectful. He's holding his ground. And then what's John Fury doing? TG says John made it more interesting. John nearly caused a fucking meltdown. He nearly had a rerun of fucking Chisora and White. Fucking tables and bottles flying all over the place. Toby Blair says, even Tyson has had enough of... There's rumours, I don't know if it's true, but is it true that Tyson told Big John to fuck off? Because apparently in this little scrummage, Tyson told him to fuck off or do something, or something happened. Toby Blair says, even Tyson's had enough of Big John now. Andrew says, John is an insecure twat. Jack Shaw says, John Fury, the MI5 destroyer. Dent says, John Fury's a thug. Man, listen, is John Fury a tough man? Yeah, absolutely. No one's questioning John Fury's toughness, but it's true, like, the guy's like 50, 60 now. It's time to, put your big boy pants on now and just put that shit away. It's cringy, man. It's cringy. Mark Stanton says, Dean Whyte would flatten John Fury. Of course he would. He's John Fury's in his 60s. Prabesh Sharma says, Fury says Barry Hearn needs to be put in the cupboard. I actually think John Fury needs to be put in the cupboard with a can of Stella. Wait until we get on to John Fury calling Tommy Fury. What did he say? John Fury said that Tommy Fury has been showing him shades of a young Gennady Golovkin in camp. Honestly, gosh, yeah. It's time that they put this man on a desert island, It's time that someone got a private plane, yeah, and hired it for John Fury and put him on an island and leave him there, innit? This man's crackers, man. They need to almost section this man. This man, John Fury, is out here, yeah, doing serious interviews with Dev Sani from Queensbury Promotions. He turned it around, he's telling Dev Sani that Tommy Fury's showing him shades of a young Gennady Golovkin in camp. Man, what is wrong with these people, man? What the fuck is wrong with these people? Boxing Waffle says, John Fury is Conor Benn's next opponent. You can see it, innit? He's about the right age for a Conor Benn opponent, isn't he? John Fury. He's about the right age for a Conor Benn victim, isn't he? When was the last time John Fury boxed? 30 years ago. Fucking hell. All right. I've got some notes on this press conference. What would you rate the press conference out of 10? Very, very respectful. People were expecting World War III. Look at Dillian coming through here on the right-hand side. Look, looks like he's ready for war. Hey, who knows about Sting? Do you remember? Do you guys joking at here, but what do you guys know about Sting? You know what Sting is? You know that they have that. Oh, hold on. You know they have that dancehall clash in Jamaica every year. Sting. Obviously, I don't watch these things, but I know what Sting is. You know they have them Sting, and they have them dancehall clashes. And back in the day, it was rowdy, innit? Because you had like Ninja Man and Vibes Cartel. Hold on. Remember Sting? Dillian Whyte, yeah, coming out to the press conference looking like he was coming out to Sting, Dillian Whyte. When Dillian Whyte came out, he reminded me of Merciless coming out to Sting. Look, hold on. You ready for war? It's Merciless, look. Hold on. Someone give Dillian a mic. Dillian looked like he was coming out to go to Sting. It's like he was going to start busting out a few bars. Do you know what I mean? Dillian looks like he was getting ready for a clash. Dancehall clash. Oh my gosh. Proper cringe. Anyway, let me carry on. Dillian Whyte. Can't believe the man turned up to a press conference looking like that, man. This dude's crazy. Can't believe the man turned up to a press conference looking like that. Looking like he's about to clash at Sting. Alright, let me see. Let me go through. Right, let me go through my notes. Sorry, right. Let's go through my press conference notes. Sorry, that Dillian Whyte attire got me there. Right, let's go through these press conference notes. What do we learn from this press conference? Frank Warren made some concessions to get Dillian Whyte on board. That's one thing we learned from this press conference. I doubt it was financial in terms of giving them like fucking spit of the pay-per-view money or anything. But what we learned, yeah, is that Frank Warren did make some concessions in the run-up to this fight. And you can see Frank Warren even chartered a private plane for Dillian Whyte to turn up to the open workout yesterday. But unfortunately for Frank, the plane was late. And so Dillian couldn't arrive. But yeah, Frank Warren says he's been on the phone with Dillian. They all got on a conference call. Him, Dillian, that moron Jeffrey Benz. I probably expect George Warren was on the call. And apparently they've all got together and tried to iron some things out. Yeah. So that's what's going on in there. So Frank's made some concessions, but he's still not happy with Dillian. At the beginning of the press conference, he said that Dillian Whyte hasn't helped. So you can see Frank's not happy with Dillian. He actually, I don't know if you guys caught, Frank Warren started off that press conference being a little bit aggressive there, isn't he? Frank Warren started off that press conference being a little aggressive there. Do you see how when he asked Dillian, like, how long have you been waiting for? 1,700 days? And then he started saying, what, Dillian's been waiting 34 years for his shot. Like, you can see Frank was getting a little bit aggressive there. It's a good thing that they only gave Frank about 30 seconds on the mic, because I thought he's going to get himself in trouble. 70 years old, talking to Dillian Whyte like that. How long have you been waiting now? Like, Frank was taking a piss there. I don't know if anybody caught on to that. A quick question, a quick bit of clarification. Anybody who believes that if Dillian Whyte was to pull out of this fight, which he won't, if anybody believes the standing opponent is really Joseph Parker, you need your head checked. It ain't going to be Joseph Parker. I don't know who it is, but I can tell you now it's probably going to be Ajit Kabayel. Or who else can they get? Who are some other heavyweights they can get? It'll probably be Jason Gavern. I can tell you right now. So a few people getting excited, like, if Dillian pulls out, we're going to get to see, Tyson Fury versus Joseph Parker. No, you won't. It will be Tyson Fury versus Jason Gavern. On pay-per-view. No refunds. $24.99. Make no mistake. All of you guys in the comments think it's Otto Wallin. Otto Wallin was looking a lot trimmer yesterday. So you guys think Wallin is the stepping opponent, yeah? Well, there we go. Let's get that on. Fury versus Wallin 2 on pay-per-view. There you go. Frank also said something. In the pre-press conference interview that he did with Dev Sani, Frank said, Dillian isn't a counterpuncher. Yes, he fucking is. Dillian Whyte's a counterpuncher. And Dillian Whyte can counterpunch. Go and look at his knockout of Derek Chisora, which is, currently doing the rounds on Twitter right now. I can't show that, obviously, for copyright reasons, but he knocks out Derek Chisora by catching the overhand right and then timing him with a left hook. So Dillian Whyte can counterpunch. He can counterpunch. So Frank Warren saying Dillian Whyte's not really a counterpuncher. He's only really got one way to win. I disagree with that, actually, from Frank Warren there. It's quite surprising because Frank's normally on the money when it comes to boxing and people's opponents, which is kind of Frank Warren's MO, isn't it, in boxing? He's not the salesman that Eddie Hearn is, but he knows a fucking hell of a lot more about boxing and how guys fight and which guys to match with which and things like that. He's supposed to be, Eddie's the salesman, but Frank's supposed to be the guy who actually has the boxing knowledge, which is why when you look at Eddie Hearn's record of bringing through young talent and compare it to Frank Warren's record of bringing through young talent, I mean, it's not even comparable. It's not even comparable. I mean, Eddie Hearn managed to crash Sky Sports Next Gen. Eddie Hearn managed to burn through them all and get they all beat and knocked out in the best part of like fucking 16 to 18 months. 90% of them beat, knocked out, stopped. Within like 18 months, he got them all whacked. And that's why you don't see no more, that's why you didn't see no more Sky Next Gen. So that's supposed to be Frank's MO. Like, opponent analysis is supposed to be his MO. And he's got it wrong on Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte's a counterpuncher, in my opinion. Andy Clark, who I just think is a complete moron, but it is what it is. Andy Clark was doing the pre-press conference interview with Dev Sani, and he referred to mind games. I don't know what you guys think. What do you think of the mind games? Do you think any mind games were being played, in today's press conference? What do you guys think? Do you think any mind games are being played? Andy Clark thinks that Tyson Fury played mind games that affected Deontay Wilder in the third fight, but he thinks that Tyson Fury's quote-unquote mind games won't work against Dillian Whyte. It doesn't look like Tyson Fury's trying to play any mind games to me. I'm not saying the fight is going to be like Chisora. I think it's going to be a completely different fight. But the build-up to this fight does remind me of Fury versus Chisora too. because those two knew each other, and Fury really likes Chisora, and there was no real animosity, between Fury and Chisora. I don't know if you guys remember the presses, for Fury and Chisora too. There was never really that much animosity between Fury and Chisora. In fact, even after that second fight, Tyson Fury said that he'd love to give Derek Chisora an opportunity at the third fight, just to help, give Derek Chisora a payday. Like, Fury and Chisora have actually always got along. And this press conference actually reminded me just a little bit of Fury and Chisora too, when you've got two guys there and they kind of know each other and there's no animosity there. And I think, like I said, it's good signs for the fight. A lot of people will say, oh, Fury shook. I've seen a few people say, well, Dillian Whyte subdued. I think it's great for the fight, because I think what you've got is you've got two guys who know that they've, especially Dillian Whyte. I think Dillian Whyte has left no stone unturned. He looks in tremendous condition in some of the videos that we've seen about him, in some of the press videos that he's released. Dillian Whyte looks in absolutely tremendous condition. So, look, I think these guys are at the stage where the hard work's been done and they don't need to talk it up. I would be actually a bit more worried if one of them started really, really talking hot talk. Because, like I said before, and I could be wrong on this, but like I said, I go back to that Khan and Brook fight, and when Khan was acting up, Khan was still acting up, like one day away from the weigh-in, and Khan was acting up, calling Kell Brook, a you-know-what, and bringing up his past and doing all this, and just going to every single last fucking stone to try and rattle Brook. And that really, really worried me for Khan, because that told me I'm not sure he really believes in himself. Because if he didn't believe in himself, he'd know there's no point in doing that. It's all done now. All the hard work's been done. These two just need to get in the ring. I think both of them are feeling the pressure. To be honest, I think Tyson Fury's feeling the pressure. I think Whyte's feeling the pressure. That's my opinion. I think both of them look like they're feeling the pressure. And I think both of them now just want to get in this ring and get this fight absolutely over and done with. I'm not saying anything interesting yet, but we will be getting calls on very, very shortly. So just bear with me. 94 in the chat. Please hit the like button. If you want to call in, get ready, because we'll be doing call-ins in a minute. And we'll be getting your predictions. Let me quickly say this. Dillian Whyte is not Derek Chisora. I could be wrong on this, but I keep saying this fight's going to be like Fury versus Chisora too. No, it's not. I think Dillian Whyte's going to make this a very, very tough and scrappy fight. I think for the first bell, he's going to come out, throw bombs, look to get inside. And the thing about Dillian, which does make him dangerous in this fight, his shortcomings do make him dangerous in this fight, because, like I said before, you get in the ring with guys, and they're a bit novice-y. You get in the ring, you ever spar with somebody, or you do whatever with a guy, and they're a little bit novice-y. Robert Brown says Fury was nervous. Okay, I'm picking Whyte to win then. There you go. Fury was nervous. There you go. I'm picking Whyte to win. Put that down as my official pick. I've got Dillian to win. Because if you're nervous before a fight, then you always lose the fight. For me, like I said, I don't think Dillian's anything like Derek Chisora. I think they're completely different fighters. I think they've got completely different styles. And I don't think Fury's going to go about that fight at all. At all. What is this nonsense? I'm interested in this bullshit. Not the same energy to Dillian like Wilder. Dillian spelt with an A, Robert Brown, just to start off with. There's no O in Dillian. What does this mean, same energy? Let me know, Robert. Might even get you to call in. What does this mean, same energy? What does this mean? What does same energy have to do when they get in the ring? I really don't understand this stuff, but maybe we'll get some calls about this. What does this mean? What does press conference energy have to do with boxing? What does that have to do with boxing? When these two guys get in the ring and there's a referee there, what's press conference energy got to do with anything? I don't know. I'm struggling to understand what that means for a boxing fight. I'm just struggling, isn't it? Whyte and Chisora have got completely different styles. So Whyte's going to come out from the get-go and throw bombs. I think Eddie Hearn's giving it away, a little bit. That's my opinion. I think Eddie Hearn's giving it away a little bit. I think Whyte's going to come in and throw bombs from the get-go. Which, if you think, look, that's kind of what Whyte's got to do, really, isn't he? You can't really let Fury get into a rhythm, can he? If he lets Fury get into a rhythm, then you would think, potentially he could be in trouble, innit? So you've got to think Whyte's going to come out from the get-go, throw bombs, get inside. I think Whyte, you're going to see Whyte use the heads, the elbows, the arms, everything. I think it's going to be I think if Whyte gets close up to Fury, Fury could be in trouble because I think Whyte's going to put the heads in, the elbows in, Whyte is going to give it. If you look at his fight with Anthony Joshua, right, which is probably the second biggest fight of his career, yeah. If you look at his fight against Anthony Joshua, he did absolutely everything. I mean, he punched Anthony Joshua after the belt. Do you remember that? He punched Anthony Joshua after the belt. I mean, there was nothing. He was being rough in there. There was nothing that he didn't do. There was no stone that Dillian left unturned, yeah? Who gives a fuck about MTK when we're talking about this? Who is this? Oh, my God. Who gives a fuck about MTK? Why do people always do that? Come in the comment section trying to fucking... No one cares about MTK right now. So we'll see. I'll get your opinions, but I don't think it's going to be anything like Fury versus Chisora. My official prediction, I'm going for Dillian Whyte. I'm going for Dillian Whyte. Knockout or points. That's my official prediction. I'm going for Dillian Whyte by points or knockout. Well, I was on the fence, but Robert Brown's got me. Fury was nervous. Not the same energy to Dillian like Wilder. So apparently, boxing's a bit like Dragon Ball Z, innit? Whoever's got the most energy wins, innit? So I'm going with Dillian by knockout. I'm going with Dillian by knockout. And so is Toby Players as well. There you go. Dillian Whyte stoppage round 1. Yeah. I'm going with Dillian Whyte knockout or points. You get your predictions and you can phone in if you want. I'll give you the link. Tyson Fury, last thing. Tyson Fury turning southpaw. This is the other crap that you see going around on the internet right now. Tyson Fury turning southpaw. Oh my gosh. Do you know what I heard someone say? This is how stupid most people on the internet are. They said that Tyson Fury turning southpaw means that he's going to be on the run. What has boxing with your left hand as your power hand got to do with how you move forward or backwards? I don't understand why people come up with this shit. Have you seen this? Oh my God, have you seen Fury did the open workout in southpaw? That means that Fury is going to be on the run. That means that Fury is going to be on the run. Why? Why does boxing left-handed mean you're going to be on the run? Like, where do these people get this bullshit from? This goes back to what we were saying in the other day about people who haven't boxed, who think they know about boxing. They just talk crap. I've told you my official prediction twice, Andrew. Dillian Whyte by knockout or points. Simple as that. Box is the same. I'm leaning to Whyte on points. Whyte has been studying the sweet science in Portugal for many years. I'm going for Dillian Whyte. I agree with all these people online. They know boxing. Fury, to me, has lost the press conference. And to me, that means he's going to lose the fight. Hasn't got the same energy, innit? He hasn't got the same energy. So I'm going with Whyte. Serious. But yeah, LOE Mark says people taking open workouts. I mean, it is what it is. I think, listen, let me tell you about the one thing about turning southpaw, okay? And I'll say this. Turning southpaw can be a good thing for Fury and a bad thing for Fury. First and foremost, most southpaws, as we discussed on this channel, right? Most southpaws, Alexander Usyk, Andy is getting to get timed out there. No one gives a shit about MTK on here. What are you going to say? So, Lomachenko, Usyk, not all southpaws, but quite a few southpaws, they like to move, away from the power hand. So they like to move into the orthodox left hook because they want to get away from the right hand. So, Fury turning southpaw might actually bring Dillian Whyte's left hook into play. All right? Because he might move into the left hook and try and do things. All right? So it doesn't necessarily mean just because he's turning southpaw, Dillian Whyte can't get off the left hook at all. In fact, in a lot of cases, it can mean the opposite. Now, I think there's a good possibility that Fury actually will fight southpaw for portions of this fight. And I think the reason why Fury actually will fight in southpaw for quite large portions of this fight, because I think he's going to jab over Dillian's jab, and I think he's going to try and right hook over Dillian's hook. And that's what I think you're going to see in this fight. I think Fury will actually attack him down that left side, possibly. I think he might move into the left hook, attack him down that side, try to jab over his jab, and also try to right hook over his jab as well, in order to try and dissuade him and shut him down on the left side and stop him throwing that left hook. So watch out for that. But that doesn't mean that Dillian Whyte won't be able to get the left hook off. Does that make sense? It's all about angles. It's all about positioning. But actually, on the Fury turning southpaw thing, I actually think that might happen in a fight, And I think what Fury might do, like I said before, is try and jab over Whyte's jab, Southpaw jab over Whyte's jab, and then right hook over Whyte's left hand. Watch out for that in the fight. A Black says, who do you think is physically stronger, Whyte or Fury? It's hard, isn't it? It's hard. I don't know, you know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. My gut says, well, we'll see. What do you guys think? Who do you guys think is physically stronger, Whyte or Fury? 1-2 Pivot says, a natural right-hander that fights southpaw usually feels more comfortable moving to the left as opposed to the right. Okay, we could see that. We could see that. We could see that. I've got a funny feeling he might. You know what? I could be completely wrong, 1-2 Pivot, and you could be completely right. I'm not trying to dispute it. I've got a funny feeling if he turns southpaw, it's because he's going to jab over Dillian's jab and right hook him off that left hand and try and shut him down. I could be wrong on that, but I've got a feeling if he turns southpaw, that's what you might see. Because he's got the height and he's got the reach, if that makes sense. So I think he might jab over the jab and right hook, because if he's throwing right hooks at Dillian, right hooks, right hooks, right hooks, right hooks, right hook, right hook, Dillian's going to be defending with that left hand as opposed to getting on the front foot and throwing hooks. So we'll see what happens. But that's something that I'm thinking about. It could happen. We'll see. We will see. Sorry, I'm just trying to see here. Harley, how are you still on this channel? I keep forgetting to ban this guy every single time. Fury is turning southpaw for different angles and punches to use. I can see Fury using uppercuts because that's Whyte's weakness. Well, Whyte's weakness for uppercuts is because his head falls over his front foot and he's very unbalanced. That's why he's getting hit with uppercuts. Like I said, if you go and watch the Oscar Rivas fight, when Oscar Rivas drops him with an uppercut, same thing. His head comes right over his front foot and he falls over head first on the inside and gives his head up. So I do think, like I said, if they do go inside, I do think the uppercut will come into play in this fight. I agree with that. I agree with that. I do agree with that, actually. Let's see. But I still think, honestly, I really do think if Fury turns southpaw, I think he's going to try and actually dominate Whyte on that left-hand side. I don't think he's going to run away from the left hook. I think he's going to go to it, and I think he's going to jab over it and throw right hooks over it. Because like I said, if you're throwing right hooks, Dillian's going to have to be defending with that left hand instead of throwing it. And Fury's going to have the reach and the height advantage on that side. So that could be the southpaw thing. We'll see. Sorry about that. Crazy D3 says, Whyte has a lower center of gravity, will be harder to push back compared to Wilder. Yeah. What? No, listen. Whyte, I would say, definitely more stocky and heavy and bigger than Whyte. I just think Dillian Whyte's built so different. Dillian Whyte is built completely different to Deontay Wilder. Fury's not going to be able to lean over him, push him back, and do the same things that he did with Wilder, that he did with Dillian. Dillian's a much stronger guy. But having said that, let me get the link out for anybody who wants to jump on. Having said that, I do think, like I said, if Fury is having a good night, I think the uppercut will come into play. If Fury wins this fight, I do think the uppercut will come into play. Right, hold on. Give me a sec. Sorry if I'm not 100% with it. It's never the same when we're doing this during a work day as opposed to when we're doing this not during a work day. Let me just turn my speakers on. Give me a sec. Right, there's the link to the live chat. We've got 124 people, only 41 likes. Listen, like I said before, I'm not even getting paid to doing this. Look, when you go on everybody else's channel, you be giving them... It's funny, isn't it? It's funny how you guys come in my chat for free. Won't even hit the like button. But you go into everybody else's chat and then you pay to play. I wonder how many 5.99s we'll be giving people tonight just to get your comment in. How many 5.99s will you be handing out? Because you know how these YouTubers work, innit? You know how these YouTubers work. If you don't super chat, they can't see your comments. But here we just read them all out. You don't care. Right, the link is in the description box. I think my speakers are working. So if you call in, I might be able to hear you. Give me your predictions. Give me your predictions for the fight. I'm going with Dillian Whyte by points or KO. Either way, this press conference has sealed it for me. I think Dillian's mind games have done the trick. And we all know mind games is one of the most important things in boxing. We all know mind games is really important. So, oh, fuck off. I'm going with mind games. We'll have to see. All right, let's see. Who have we got? Toby, if anybody wants to come in, the link is at the description box. Hopefully, we're going to get a few people in. So, I will be marshalling this quite tightly. Toby's here. All right, Toby, you're here. You're online.
Hello, can you hear me?
We're jumping in. All right, Toby, let's have your prediction then. Let's have your thoughts on this press conference and your prediction, and then we're gonna jump on. Go for it, Toby. I'm gonna shut up.
Okay. Can you hear me? Is it working?
It's fine, Toby. It's fine.
Okay, good. Right. Well, I mean, I could say Dillian Whyte round one because obviously Fury's terrified because of what we've seen in the press conference. But no, I think Fury stopping him between round 9 and 11.
What did you think about the press conference, Toby?
I mean, I was bored, to be honest, because I was because there was that beeping sound as well that went on for ages, and I thought that like Dillian was going to get wound up. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, and then they blamed Wembley for it. The BT put a comment out saying that it's Wembley's fault for the sound, not theirs. That was funny. But no, I think it was just a press conference, wasn't it? It wasn't anything special apart from when John got in Dean's face. But you can't really take much from it.
Toby, what do you think about the mind games?
Non-existent.
What do you think about? Did the press conference live up to your expectations? Quickly.
No, he was. Well, I mean, I think everyone was expecting Dillian Whyte to get really annoyed, as he usually does, start howling like a wolf, and then just to start flipping tables and throwing water bottles. But no, that didn't happen. So, but I mean, it was just a press conference, just nothing really to take from it.
Okay. Sorry about that, Toby. You know what? I was absolutely listening to you. Do you know what's happened? My keyboard's gone absolutely tits up, so I'm now doing this show without a keyboard. To anybody listening, never buy a Bluetooth keyboard because they are complete and utter pieces of horsemen. Actually, though, I have a plan B. Toby, thank you very much for joining on. Thank you very much for giving your opinions.
No worries.
Yeah, and take care, bro.
You too.
Take care, bro. All right, Jason.
What's happening, big dog?
I'll fast track you in. George Giles and Norzerb, you will be on next. George Giles and Norzerb, you will be on next. I will get to you. Jason, you're my brother. What's going on?
Yeah, all good, bruv. Yourself?
Same old. Tell me, what's going on? What do you think about the press conference, Jason? What do you think about it?
It's a standard just before the fight. Nothing was going to happen. Like, they're proper professionals in a massive fight for 8 and whatever Tyson's agreed with Warren backstage. They weren't going to go mad. People are crazy. If they were going to have a mad out press conference, it would have happened well in the beginning before they went into camp. It wouldn't have happened now.
What do you think about John Fury?
Fucking Jesus Christ, man. What he doing, bruv? Like... Man needs to put his feet up and go back to that little hole in the wall he lives in with a little stove and that. Just chill, bro. Needs to start smoking some dro and just calm down. Like, he's on a mad.
Why is he trying to beef with everybody? I don't understand. Do you see the video with him? This fool starts stepping to Dean Whyte for no reason, unprovoked.
Mad. Yeah, Dean Whyte would fold him up like a crumpet, mate.
Well, it is what it is. What are you feeling about the fight? How are you feeling about the fight and how it goes? What are you thinking?
I'm looking forward to it. Like, honestly, I agree with what you were saying earlier. I got a feeling White's going to try and cut Fury. I got a feeling, like you said, he's going to go in with elbows, heads, get his head on his chest, try and cut him like Wallin did, try and open that cut, and then he goes to town on him, goes to work. But, you know, we'll see. I honestly think Fury's levels above White. I always have done, like, do you know what I mean? It will be a close fight in the way that, like, people thought Usyk Chisora was a close fight. Do you know where you can make a case for the other person, like, just putting, like, White will put his heart on the line, bruv. He really will. He's going to go put everything on the line. And just seeing someone do that is in the ring to people that don't really know boxing is going to look like it's a closer fight than it is, but it's not. And also, like White talked about in the press conference, like, oh, have you seen my legs? Bruv, man, gases. He was never that big. You see him when he was an MMA fighter. He was a lot thinner. He's built muscles just like Joshua. That takes oxygen. Fury has never put any muscle in his body ever. Like, he just builds on what he is naturally, like a cyclist or something like that, but a huge one. His gas tank's incredible, bruv.
Jason, some great points there. No, Jason, listen, stay on for a sec. Last question. Do you think it goes the distance?
Nah, I don't think. Well, I think Whyte will put too much. I think it could go. I think Whyte is savvy enough to fight to make it go the distance. You know what I'm saying? But he won't fight like that. He won't, because he'll fight like that and then it will come out and he'll just think afterwards like, right, I should have put it on the line. Like one of those performances where you just box to like, so you didn't get knocked out, almost like a Callum Smith, Alvarez sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
He won't do that. He'll go for it. And because of that, his gas tank will go. Fury, there was a great point by George C in the comments saying about the strength is about the same. But Fury's got a bigger size, and leaning on him in the clinches might be the difference. And although they're the same height, the same strength, that height and leaning over him, and Whyte having to punch up, that adds inches. So it takes away that extra long levers that they talk about that Whyte's got. He's already lost that because he's punching up 3 or 4 inches.
Do you know what, Jason? I'll say this in closing. Not one person, I swear to God, in the last few weeks, the only people that I've heard talk about the height and the reach disadvantage in this fight are you, me, and Enzo Maccarinelli. Those are the only 3 people. Everybody else talking about mind games and shit. Talking about energy and shit. I keep thinking I'm in the middle of Dragon Ball Z, like, you know, these guys are holding energy crystals. This is shit crazy. Yeah. Nobody's actually spoken about the fact that Fury's reach is 85 and Whyte's is 78. That Whyte is supposed to be built at 6'4", and that Fury's built at 6'9", and nobody's actually commented on that. Like it's not a factor in the fight, Jason.
Mad, isn't it? It's crazy, it's crazy, bro.
All right, bro. We'll see you soon, man.
These are the fundamentals of boxing. Like people are getting, it's mind games. There's all this emotional shit. It's like nowadays with politics. I'm not getting into it. It's all emotion rather than fact based. Everybody makes judge. Emotion. Whyte can do this. Let's look at the facts. The facts
let me.
It's 5. Yeah, go on.
No. Sorry, carry on, Jason. Finish off, and I'll ask you one more.
The facts are he's bigger, fucking better reach. He's been boxing longer. He's got better footwork. Oh my God, come on, do you know what I mean? If Whyte wins this, it is such an upset. Let's not joke.
Right, last question. Right.
But obviously that guy in the comments you said has made me change my mind about the press conference as well. I'm going Whyte.
Let me say this. Last question. You've got a desert island. One of these two has to go on this desert island and never come back. It's a loser leaves town match. Pick one. Daniel Kinahan, John Fury. One's got to go.
Oh, that's well hard, man. Jesus. I know some things in it, so I gotta say Kinahan,
Really?
Yeah. And I've been around, bruv. I'm from Ladbroke Grove. I've got mates that do things, but I know some stories in it, and yeah. But anyway, that's it. If you know, you know, and if you don't, you don't. But it's not up to him to prove himself innocent. It's up to people to prove him guilty.
That's it. That's it. Something that don't happen no more in this country. In this country, you're guilty until proven innocent. Peace out, Jason.
Nice one. Respect, man. Can't wait for
Take care, my brother.
Nice one, brother.
Peace out, brother. See you soon. Jason Walker's my brother, man. All right, let's go on. Right, George Charles. George, thank you very much for waiting. I really appreciate that. How are you doing today, sir?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. Thank you.
George, I'm going to mute myself. Give me your thoughts on the press conference. Did it live up to your expectations? What did you see in there? Say your piece.
I just watched the press conference. I wasn't really expecting much. I think the only sort of interesting bit was when they both sort of faced off. But apart from that, it was just, general press conference. It's just, it's not the actual fight. It's just a press conference, I think everyone's looking forward to the... Yeah, go on.
No, carry on.
Yeah,
sorry,
I think everyone... Yeah, I think everyone's just looking forward to the fight.
Let me ask you something, George. When this fight was first announced, not now, yeah? When this fight was first announced, who did you think was going to win the fight? What were you thinking when this fight was first announced? Fury. Have you changed your mind? Fury, have you changed your mind now? It's been like 2 months or so, yeah? 2-3 months since this fight's been announced. Have you changed your mind in any way, shape, or form, given what you've seen?
No, I have not. I still
How do you think
think
it's going to
Fury is
go?
gonna demolish him.
Hey, Gary, why do you think Fury
In
will
my
demolish him?
opinion,
Tell me how you think the fight goes and why. Tell us.
I think White doesn't have anything to trouble Fury. I think Fury is well prepared. Uh, he said that I think this will be his last fight, so he's really looking to sort of stamp his legacy, and I think it was just gonna demolish him. As I think it will be his last fight, so I think White's gonna go a bit. I could see him sort of be getting aggressive, wild, but I think Fury is gonna catch him, and that will be that.
All right, George. Well, thank you very much for calling in. Can I just say one last thing? Has anybody ever told you that you sound exactly like Daniel Dubois? Like it's almost like Daniel Dubois is on the phone as we speak. Is that Daniel Dubois?
No,
You've literally
exactly.
you sound exactly like Daniel Dubois. Please call back in on the post fight and good luck. Good luck. Thank you very much, George, and take care, man. Thank you, bro.
All right, thank you.
Take care, bro. We see George. Yeah, George there will be fighting Trevor Bryan for the WBA. That boy sounds so much like Daniel Dubois. It's unbelievable. George, make sure you call back in. Very, very good. And thanks very much for calling in first. Do you know first-time callers always get a little bit nervous? I don't know why. No, there's no reason to ever be nervous when calling in. I'm one of the fairest people ever. When people call in, I always give people their say. I'm very fair. I don't, do nothing stupid really. So yeah, thank you very much for calling in, George Charles, and please call back in again. Yeah, big up DDD. I hope I didn't offend him there, but I had to say it. The man sounds exactly like Triple D. He sounds exactly like Triple D, exactly like him. There you go. Right, yeah, drew man out. Yeah, I drew man out. Yeah, I drew man out. Right, Norzerb, let's get this guy on, brother. Thank you very much for waiting. How you doing? Norzerb, what's up, on?
Hello, mate. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. How you doing, bro?
Hello?
I can hear you, bro.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, mate, I'm good, man. How you doing?
Not too bad, thank you. I really appreciate you waiting. Okay, right. What did you think about the press conference?
Better than I thought. I was expecting Fury at very least to jab at White or do something like try and start maybe a little bit or something, but there was none of that. There was none of it. It was very respectful, and it was good to see. Good to see both guys are up for it, and I'm really excited for the fight because I think it'll be better than what people think.
Yeah, when this fight first got announced? What did you think about the fight when it first got announced? What were your initial thoughts on it? On who's going to win and stuff?
When it first got announced, I immediately thought, good to see Dillian Whyte finally fighting for the world title because, he's been going on about it. We've been hearing about it for God knows how long. It's just good to finally get this done. But I thought that it's just a complete procession for Fury. I've thought about, what would happen if Fury and Whyte fought for a long time. And I've always just been of the opinion that Fury would school him. But I think now I think it's clear that Fury, he's not that, 2015 against Klitschko guy or against Wilder in the first fight where he's fleet-footed. I don't think we're going to see that guy again. And I think the fact that we're not going to see that guy again makes this fight a lot closer than people initially think. I think the fact that Fury is going to be there to be hit and the fact that Fury is going to try and push onto Whyte with the Kronk style like he did against Wilder, I think. And Whyte, he's going to come forward and he's going to try and rough Fury up, I think, and stuff like that. Like you said earlier, with heads and elbows. I think it's going to be a rough fight. I think there's going to be cuts on both sides. I think I definitely think it's a bit closer now than I thought when it initially got announced. But I still think Fury will get to him. I just think he's slightly better everywhere. He's bigger. I think he punches a bit harder. But if Whyte did pull off the upset, it would be a massive upset. But at the same time, I kind of feel like I wouldn't be surprised because I don't know. We've seen some crazy upsets in boxing recently, and this would top it if Whyte pulled it off.
No, but listen, nobody expected Cambozos to beat and drop Teofimo Lopez. Nobody expected that in the way it happened. We had that. And then we had a couple of other upsets, I think, around about that time as well, actually, that I've probably forgotten about. So I'm sure there was another big upset in the States as well after that. So listen, I wouldn't be surprised. Would I be anything can happen in heavyweight boxing? Nothing really surprises me in boxing anymore. So if White won the fight, I have to say I wouldn't be surprised per se. What do you think about Fury talking about retirement? That ain't a good sign, surely.
I don't know. That's weird. Like, I didn't think Fury had that many more fights left in him anyway. I always felt like Fury would get White out the way and try and make the undisputed fight. And he'd do the undisputed fight, or maybe he'd be contracted to have a rematch in the undisputed fight, whether that's against Usyk or Joshua, and then he'd retire. The fact that he wants to retire now is like, I don't know. It's weird. I haven't really thought about it that much because there's a part of me that just thinks Fury's just saying it for the sake of saying it. But I guess when I think about it more deeply, like there is a chance that this might be the last time we see Tyson Fury fight, which is weird because I feel like although he is easily the best heavyweight in Britain and he's easily the best heavyweight in the world and of this generation, it would still feel like there was that one fight he didn't have against Usyk or against Joshua if Joshua beats Usyk in the rematch and stuff like that. We never saw him go for that undisputed fight when it is there. But listen, if Fury does retire, I just hope that he's happy and that he feels that he doesn't need to fight anymore to be happy, because we hear Fury talk about that all the time regarding his mental health. He says he's most happy when he's, getting punched in the face and when he's sparring and stuff like that. So look, if Fury does retire after this fight, if he wins and retires, he's had an amazing career and he's an all-time great. But I have a feeling he'll carry on for one or two more fights. But if he retires, then I just hope he's happy with himself.
Let me ask you this. Oh, Jesus, I've completely forgotten my... I was going to say, I want to ask you guys in the chat, I don't think Tyson Fury looks his usual self. I'm going to be 100% honest now, yeah? I don't think he looks his usual self. I think he looks like he's on a little bit of a downer, which I kind of expect because Fury is an up and down person. He's 1 minute he's up, next minute he's down, right? And that's the reason why I think he gets a pass on some of the bullshit that he comes out with, because he's a bit, he's got numerous sort of mental issues which are sort of well documented, right? I don't think he looks himself, but maybe it could be the training camp, because he's been in training now for 6-7 whole weeks. He says he's been training since January, had a week off. I think, like I said before, training camps, they do take a lot out of you. I think they do take a lot. They must take something out of you. And I think now he's at the point, to be honest, where he just wants to sort of go in there and get it over and done with now and be done with it. I tell you what, let me ask you a question. It's my last question, also, but then we'll move on. If he loses, do you think he'll fight again? Because you know what? I think if Dillian Whyte beats him, right, it might be very, very hard. But there's no rematch clause, right, which is the real danger in this fight. So if he loses, there's no rematch clause. If he loses, I think it's possible he might really retire, because it might be hard for him to have to climb that mountain to get back to the top all over again. What do you think about that in closing?
Well, no, I think Fury, if Fury lost, I think it depends on whether or not he'd have that motivation to come back and to come back again. And I don't know if he will. Like, I don't think. I don't think he will come back if he loses to Whyte, because the fact that there isn't a rematch clause. I think if there was a rematch clause, if Fury did lose to Whyte, I think he's got more than enough about him to, if he really wanted to, come back again and beat Dillian Whyte in a rematch. But there isn't a rematch clause. So, and we know what's going to happen if Dillian Whyte wins this fight. Eddie Hearn's going to shove him straight into a fight with Joshua, regardless of what happens with Joshua and Usyk.
That's it. So, Dillian Whyte's going to get fed like a can of pedigree chum straight to AJ.
So, Yeah. Sorry, Ultra, there's a bit of a delay, so I don't want to...
No, it's okay. There's a delay. But, no, it's okay. Just finish up. Give us your final opinion.
But in closing, I think... in closing, I think that I think you're right. I think if Whyte wins this, we're going to see him get fed to AJ, and he'll and I think Fury will probably retire. But listen, if Fury does lose and he continues to fight on, he can definitely be a world champion again, 100%. And if he did lose to White and did get the opportunity to rematch him, I think he would beat White in a rematch. But yeah, we will see Saturday night. I'm just excited for the fight, and I think it's going to be a lot better than people think.
All right, bro. Take care. Thank you very much, man, and take care, bro.
Cheers, Ultra. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it.
There you go. Norzerb, legendary there. Howdy, Harry. You are live. Oh, and he ducked out as soon as I hit the live button. There we go. Ali, how we doing?
I'm all right, mate. How about yourself?
Oh, mate, same shit, different day. Should be working, but out here, you know, doing the old, you know, free to air bollocks on YouTube. Right, Ali, what did you think? What did you think of that press conference? What did you think about John Fury's conduct? By the way, guys, before you say that, Harry, 117 people in the chat, only 57 likes. Please, if you can, hit the like button since you aren't paying to play like you do everywhere else. Ali, John Fury, what Time Magazine Person of the Year award, no doubt, waiting for this man. One of the biggest, probably one of the biggest idiots now we've seen in boxing. I personally want John Fury transported away to a desert island. In a large yellow container and probably left there for the rest of his life or career. As long as I don't have to see him on camera again. How do you feel about it?
I mean, to be honest, John Fury. Initially, I was actually quite. I used to fight find him quite interesting, but lately he's been I think there was no need for him to get in White's face and get aggressive. He made it all about himself, but I don't understand why. But at the same time, he does seem to be the kind of person that's very protective of his son. But even his son told him, "Listen, just back off. what are you doing?" So John Fury is a bit of a character. Not everyone really likes him, but he is going a bit south at the minute. And some of the stuff that he does, some of the things that he comes out with, ain't really the best.
Yeah, I mean, John Fury, look at the last 6 months of John Fury, and it's been some decline. I mean, shouting at LCD TVs. I think there was threatening to do people's girlfriends like a dog. And then we're comparing Tommy Fury to a younger Nanny Golovkin. And
I heard that. I was like, what? I didn't. I was like, you know what? I'm going to listen to that.
It's just unbelievable. What an amazing last 6 months there for Big John. When the fight got first announced, what did you think about it when it first got announced?
When it first got announced, as in what way would I think it was going to happen, or
yeah. What do you think was going to happen? What was your feeling? Did you think, this is going to be like a steamroll job, or you think it's going to be a close fight? What did you feel when the fight first got announced?
To be fair, I've been watching both fighters, and I thought to myself, it would be a lot of people were saying that Dillian's got no chance, or it'll be a walkover job, or this person will win easy, or that, or you've got the hardcore Dillian Whyte fans who said he'll knock him out, and you've got certain channels as well that come out with some right waffle. But to me, I thought to myself, it'll be interesting. It depends where at this stage of his career, it depends where Fury's at, not just physically, mentally. Because if you look at him physically, I do feel like he's on the decline. He's approaching 34 now, and it also depends on obviously what shape Dillian Whyte's in. I thought it'd be kind of a 50, not a 50-50, but I would have give Whyte more of a chance than anything. Looking at it recently, I don't think I think he's closer to the Fury's closer to the shape that he was in Wilder Fury 2, the second one, but. I do have to agree. I think he does seem like he's a bit. I think he might have just been having one of those lull days with the media. Yeah, I think he's got sick of the media and things like that. But genuinely, I thought it would be like a closer fight. Thinking about it now, watching the press conference, it was nice. It was nice, civil enough press conference up until John Fury made it somewhat special. But going into the fight, thinking about it now, I still think it's going to be a good fight for however long it lasts. I can't see it going the full 12. One of them's getting chinned, and at the minute,
run us through it. How do you think it will go? Run us through it from round 1 to the end. How do you think it will go?
I mean, I think it'll be I think it'll be a cagey opening. I know they're saying obviously it'll be a barn burner. They'll go balls to the wall and just throw leather. But I think it'll be a cagey opening. They'll both feel each other out. And then it does. Honestly, I really, for the first time in a while, the last time I felt like this was when I watched Wilder Fury 2, and when I realized that he put all that weight, and he said that he was gonna actually go into a fight. I was a bit unsure how it's gonna go. This one, I'd say it'd be a cagey first 1 or 2 rounds. Then one of them's gonna get hurt. One of them's gonna get caught with something. And I think it'll light fire, and it'll be one of those last man standing jobs.
Okay, I agree with you. I don't think it's good. Who are you going for? Who do you think? If you had to pick,
If I had to put my money where my mouth is, I'd have to go Fury. But I think he's gonna have to get off the floor a couple of times. And I think
I'm not sure. People keep guaranteeing that if Fury hits the floor, he's going to get up. So only so many times you can hit the floor and keep getting up, man.
Yeah, it depends. Obviously, it depends. Obviously, I'm not going to say he gets dropped 3 times and he gets up every single time. It depends how heavy the knockdown is, but I definitely do. He's going to touch the canvas at least once.
Okay, all right, Ali. Thank you very much for calling in, brother, and I appreciate your thoughts very much, man.
No worries, mate. Speak to it.
Okay, man. Take care. Thank you. Okay, listen, that was a very, very good call there. Really enjoyed it, Ali. Please make sure you give me a call back. I know some people think I'm being a bit short there. Do you know what it is? Honestly, I'm just a bit out of it. That's all. Honestly, I'm a little bit drained myself. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But big thanks to Ali. I really, really enjoyed that call, and I thought you made some really, really good points. If anybody else would like to call in, I don't know how much longer we're going to be online for, but if anybody else would like to call in and say their piece on what they thought about the no one's come in mentioning mind games yet. I don't understand. People always come in the comment section, and no one's now coming on here mentioning mind games. The link is pinned to the top of the chat box. If anybody would like to call in and give your opinion on what you saw today, you can talk about John Fury disgracing himself yet again. You can talk about Dean White, aka Lamar Scott. Showing his face. I can't believe he even turned up. I told Queensbury not to let this guy in. This guy was turning around saying no one does it like Matchroom. 2 minutes later, he's turning up to the press conference. Big Dean. It is what it is. And we can see, yeah, I mean, just a quick bit of news as well. For those of you who, like me, think British boxing is absolutely booming, Eddie Hearn has declared that Canelo Alvarez wants to fight in London in December. Canelo will face Dimitri Bivol May 7th and then Gennady Golovkin on September the 17th. And Hearn has named John Ryder or Joshua Buatsi / Craig Richards as possibilities for his final fight of 2022. So there you go. Canelo Alvarez possibly fighting John Ryder or Joshua Buatsi, Craig Richards. If they shove Joshua Buatsi into a fight with Golovkin, with Canelo, that has got to be one of the biggest mismatches I've probably ever seen. Well, Craig Richards would be even worse, but Jesus Christ, Buatsi and Craig Richards are on the verge of being thrown in with Canelo Alvarez. We all know it'll be John Ryder, but it is what it is. Vanguards of Manhood says, Ultra, have you ever seen White fight live? No, I haven't. I think going to boxing live is very overrated. I think you get a much better view. I think you'd have to sit next to as much smelly people, and there's a lot less trouble at when you actually sit in a house and watch it on pay-per-view. Last time I went to a fight, it was fucking ridiculous. I went to a small hall show, and it was just unbelievable. There's people fighting in the fucking crowd, and then after the fight, the home fighter got knocked out. No joke, yeah. The home fighter got knocked out in a shock victory. There was nearly a riot, yeah. There was nearly a riot in the arena. The opponent had the guy who won had the girlfriend, the wife, the family, and about 500 fans outside his changing room. He had to be escorted out of his changing room. When he was escorted out of his changing room, the guy who's lost girlfriend spat in his face. Absolutely disgusting, man. I just thought, shit me, man. Get the fuck out of here, man. It's not no game down in these shows. I thought, I'm just going to sit here and do it there. Yeah, Richie from Twitter says, Buatsi from the sofa straight in with Canelo. I tell you, nobody does it like Matchroom. But like I said before, Dillian Whyte beats Tyson Fury. then let me tell you, Matchroom are pretty much right back in the pound seats. That's what I'm saying about boxing. Boxing is cyclical. Matchroom have been having a bit of a bad time with the last couple of months. But if Fury gets beaten by Dillian Whyte with no rematch clause, not tied to a promoter, etc., then Matchroom are going to be having a field day, and you will be seeing, like I said before, Whyte will be served up on a platter for either Usyk or AJ, and you know they want to serve him up to AJ. It is what it is. If anybody's got any last things to say, if anybody, we're going to stay for another couple of minutes. If anybody else wants to call in and give their opinion on Whyte versus Fury, let's do it. If anybody wants to give some last predictions or last comments, I'll read them out now. Ron 2 Pivot says, get Sam Eggington up to 168 and let him beat up on Canelo. If Barry Hearn could do that, he would do that. Trust me, you know what Barry Hearn's like. He would do that if he could. Dench says, why would Canelo come to London? Jesus Christ, it is what it is. Crazy D3 said, the media are hounding Tyson because of Daniel Kinahan. Maybe that's why Tyson wanted it to be a low-key presser. Do you think Crazy D3's got a point there? I think Tyson's going through one of his little mental moments. That's my opinion. I think this is a guy who's up and down, you know. And I think Mr. Anderson mentioned something about the last time we saw a Fury like this was the Klitschko rematch. And, you know, he does look down to me. You know, he does look down to me. Tin Man 85 says, I know it's a slim chance. I hope Whyte breaks Fury's jaw. Anything can happen in heavyweight boxing. It's Otto Warling managed to take Tyson Fury to the wire, yeah, by nearly stopping him with a punch to the head that sliced his eye open. So listen, anything can happen. Dillian Whyte's going to be rough. That's the one thing I'm very sure of. Yeah, I do think Eddie's sort of giving away Dillian's game plan there. Good old Eddie, talking to Talk Sport a couple of days ago. I do think Dillian will come out and go and leave no stone unturned. I don't think he's going to do an Anthony Joshua and try and feel his way into the fight so much. The first round or two might be cagey, but I think at some point Whyte's he's gonna leave it all on the table. Headbutts, knees to the groin. If he has to kick Fury in the shins, bite him on the ears, I think Dillian Whyte is going to do literally whatever it takes. And he's going to be very rough and very rowdy. And I think that's going to be the difficulty for Fury in this fight, because when you've got the opponent who's they're not boxing. Do you know what I mean? They're boxing, but you know what I mean? They're throwing punches from awkward angles. I expect to see a lot of overhand rights and lead left hooks from Dillian Whyte. Maybe he's going to throw a lot of left hooks to the body, these kind of things. But I think, you know, the shots to watch out for, like I said before, will be like the overhand rights from Dillian, lead left hooks, overhand rights in particular. Fury's got a lot of bad habits in the ring, you know. And as I say, Fury does have like a lot of bad habits in the ring. One thing, I don't know if we can get away with showing this. Let me just go to my Twitter page here. I don't know if we can get away with showing this, but there was a very, very interesting video of the Wilder knockdown, which somebody put up the other day. And this video illustrates the fine margins in boxing, yeah, between winning and losing. And I've said this a million times, you know, like when Fury hit the canvas against Wilder in that round 3, what saved him? The reason why he's still heavyweight champion is because he literally tucked his chin in and literally at the last half a second. I'm going to try and show you the knockdown if I can actually find it. But that's the only reason why Tyson Fury is still heavyweight champion in the world. The reason why he's heavyweight champion in the world is because in round 3-4 with Wilder, when that right hand came at the last minute, he dipped his chin down and he took that shot on the forehead. Because if that shot from Wilder hits him anywhere near the chin, he's toast. He ain't champion no more. The margins in boxing are extremely fine. You know, like the margins in boxing are very, very fine. Especially heavyweight boxing between winning and losing. So, like I said before, Fury is a great fighter. I think, like I said, on his day, he's the best fighter in the division, right? On his day. But, you know, he does do things. He leans back against the ropes with his chin in the air. You know, he leans back. He pulls out of the mid-range with his hands by his waist. You know, he does a lot of things. He does a lot of things that, you know, that ride close to the line. And if Dillian catches him with something, opens a cut, catches him with something, stuns him, catches him with something, he'll go for it. And that's the difference between, I'll say this in closing, between Dillian and Anthony Joshua. One thing that Dillian is, yeah, Dillian's going to fight to the end. He's not going to do an AJ. I don't think we're going to see an AJ from Dillian. You know when AJ fought Usyk, yeah? And he knew. You know when AJ fought Usyk and got hurt in round 3, yeah? Usyk threw a left hook. Usyk threw a left hook in round 3. He whipped it around the guard and he buzzed AJ, hit him right on the chin and crossed his legs over, right? When AJ got hit with that shot, he was never the same again in that fight. Like, he knew. Once he knows he can be hurt, Anthony Joshua, once he knew he could get hurt in a fight, he's never the same. Never the same fighter. And he's not willing to put it on the line. He's not willing to, you know, knock out or be knocked out. And that's why he lost his heavyweight championship of the world, yeah? Because when it came time to knock out or be knocked out, he was more content, yeah, to see it out on points. He was more content. But I tell you one thing, that's not going to happen with Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte is going to knock out or be knocked out. We saw that in the Anthony Joshua fight, and I think we're going to see it on Saturday night. Like, he will fight to the finish. Get up the canvas, whatever it takes. One thing I can say about Dillian is, yeah, he will be going to take Tyson Fury's head off. He's not the kind of guy that's going to get discouraged and think, you know what, I'm going to coast home to some kind of points victory so I don't get knocked out. He is going to go, yeah, and he's going to throw bombs until the end. Trust me on that. Absolutely. Crazy D3 says, Whyte is definitely more of a dog than Joshua. Absolutely. It ain't going to be like AJ, where when the going gets tough, do you know what, I'm gonna coast it home for a points win. That's what AJ did. That's the truth, isn't it? That's what AJ did against Usyk. Whyte's not like that. Whyte's going to go out on his feet. That I can tell you. Even if he's getting hurt, he's going to go out on his feet. He is going to go out on his feet. So that makes him more dangerous. And some of his knockouts, like I said, the one against Chisora, it looks like he's getting dominated, or it looks like a guy's getting on top of him, and he counters and he rolls that hook, or he does something. You know, he's dangerous. He's a dangerous guy. He's a live guy. He's trained hard. And Tyson Fury says he's giving him lots of respect and that he's trained hard for the fight. We'll see. I'm sure you guys all know they're saying Fury's going to be coming in at 260 for the fight. That's what they're saying. 260 for Fury. 260, am I right? No, sorry, 265. Sorry. I don't really know. I'm not a heavyweight. I'm not a big guy. So I don't really, you know, do the old, the stones to... Jason Walker says Whyte's really from the streets, not Watford High Street. Whyte's legit. Whyte 100% will put it on the line, like till the end. He literally, Dillian Whyte will go out swinging. Like, I'm not saying he won't win the fight. He can win, but even if he doesn't, that's the one thing about this fight. Dillian Whyte is going out swinging. If he goes out, he will go out swinging. He ain't going out to no fucking. He ain't gonna coast it in and let it go to the cards. He ain't doing that shit. We know that, yeah. So we'll have to wait and see. Last predictions. Mr. Anderson says Fury KO for me. It's just where to put my money. I'm swaying towards rounds 4 to 6 to maximize profit. I've got an idea in my head about how this fight could go. But like I said before, for me, and I'll leave it at this, it's really hard to predict fights because we don't know what kind of shape the guy's in. We don't know what kind of how camp's been. We don't know what goes on. So it's hard, isn't it? It's hard to know. It's hard to know, but I've got my own little inklings as to how the fight will go. I'm not gonna share them on here. I will share them after the fight, and I'll be honest about it. I've got my little inklings as to how the fight will go, but we'll have to wait and see. Right now, my official prediction is Dillian Whyte to win by knockout or on points. That's my official prediction. Dillian Whyte will be the WBC Ring Magazine and lineal champion of the world, and Matchroom will reign supreme once again. Mark Stanton says the Chisora knockout was always credited to Mark Tibbs, telling him he was losing on points. Is his current corner that honest? We'll have to wait and see. Crazy D3 says, will you go live after the weigh-in? Maybe. I'm not sure. We'll see. Depends what happens. Okay, guys, peace out.